Hi, my name is Wendy Christensen. I've currently owned, the name of the store is the Uptown Antique Market. I've owned it for 3 years, and there is an interesting backstory on this because my daughter used to take piano lessons right around the corner from this shop for a long time. And so every Thursday I'd call it my Uptown Girl Day, and I'd come to the Uptown and I had a half hour just to meander around, and I loved it. So every Thursday I'd come down here to the Uptown and I would just have fun and check out the shops and enjoy the vibe that's down here. Anyway, I discovered this shop and the owner, and I'd come in every Thursday and we'd talk and we became friends, and I'd buy stuff, and I just loved the antiques and the vintage. Anyhow, fast forward quite a few years, 10 years maybe, and I followed her on Facebook, and she needed someone to work 1 day a week, and so I volunteered. I was like, please, not volunteered, she hired me, but I said, please pick me, I want to work that 1 day a week. So I picked up Tuesdays. I was the Tuesday girl in here. And I'd only worked 4 times, so 1 month, and she approached me and said she wanted to sell the store, and she was ready to retire, and she wanted to sell it to me. And that was really overwhelming because I just liked working in here. I hadn't thought about running the whole store and owning it. Anyway, I told her no because it scared me, and I was like, no, I'm not looking to own a retail store. Anyway, I found myself waking up in the middle of the night and I couldn't stop thinking about it, and usually that's a sign when you can't stop thinking about something, you should probably do it. So here I am, I bought the store, and I'm 3 years in, and I have loved it. I have loved being in the Uptown. I've loved having the store. I do have 25 vendors. They each have their own booth space, so a lot of times this is called an antique mall. So I have all these little businesses under my roof, and they decorate their own space, and they price everything, and then you can come in and shop from each different vendor, and then I get to sell it and have a lot of fun with all the customers. And I love it. I love the people. I love the vibe of the place. And I love all the vendors. We all get along really well. We're a great team here at the Uptown Antique Market. And it's just been a really great adventure for me. I've learned a ton about myself, about business, about running things, and about just contributing to the community with good events and happy vibe and all that. So it's been a good adventure. One thing I really love about the Uptown is the diversity. And it's an eclectic collection of businesses, and there's a really good happy vibe that's down here, I feel like. I love to go to the different restaurants, and Woo's Teriyaki is a favorite of mine. I love the crepes place. I love some bagels. You can grab a bagel and a hot chocolate. I do that quite often. I love the Spud Nut Shop. That's been around forever. I think it's the oldest business in the city of Richland, and you can jump over there and get a cinnamon roll or a Spud Nut, and that is always fun. I love that I am part of a collection of vintage shops here in the Uptown. There's Ragtime and Hunt and Gather, myself and Patina, and we'll often collaborate and have really great events. And we try to do that in connection with each other and promote each other and do giveaways, and people love to come down and make a day of vintage shopping, and they can always grab lunch and check out Adventures Underground. There's some really great tattoo shops here. There are also great records. If you're into vinyl records, this is a hub for vinyl records. I sell them at my store. Adventures Underground has them. Hunt and Gather has a really great section in the back of their store for vinyl records, which is really a trending thing right now. But I don't think it'll ever go out of style because I love vinyl records. But yes, I do. You asked me if I had frequent shoppers. Yes, I have people coming every week, and they love to come down and see what's happening, what's changing. That's been a really great thing that's touched my heart about owning a business, a small business, is our community is so supportive of local small business, and I see that every time I have an event. The support is wonderful. I feel like I always get a hug from the community by the local love and support, and I feel like people really want to see the Uptown succeed. They want to have these fun, different businesses come in and give our city something exciting to do and a place to go and walk around and have little day trips. And so, yeah, and I have a lot of customers that travel in from out of town as well. Lots of them. Montana, Idaho, the west side of Washington State, Oregon. They come in and they love it. They make trips to come in and just feel the happy vibe that's here and enjoy the Uptown. So that's been a fun part of owning this business. Okay, so what makes the Uptown Antique Market different than the other antique or vintage shops around? I feel like our number one thing is our happy vibe. When you walk through my door, you are going to get welcomed. Every single person is welcomed, and I am so grateful for anyone who walks through my door. I feel like, you can't have a small business without people walking through your door or supporting you. So I really love to make every single person feel welcome. And I want their experience in my store to be happy. And I want them to leave feeling like they had a really good experience at the Uptown. The other thing I feel like that's different is all of my vendors are really brilliant at displaying their items. Each little shop is just beautifully laid out and displayed, and things are clean and organized and well priced. I feel like it's a very fair and priced really well. And the other thing is I love to play old music. You can always hear Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Doris Day. The 40s pretty much is what's playing in here. And I feel like that creates an atmosphere that's just reminiscent of days gone by, and it helps you feel like you've gone back in time. And don't we all need a place where we can go that gives us a little escape from everyday life? And I think that's what's fun. Everyone comes in and says, this is like so nurturing and happy, and I feel like I feel blessed that I get to provide that kind of atmosphere for every person, hopefully, that walks through my door and has an experience with us here at the Uptown Antique Market. So you had asked me what my oldest, or a couple of whatever my oldest items are here in the shop. So this is probably the oldest thing I have in here, one of them. And it is a 1912 National all brass cash register. And it takes about 3 men to lift this baby because it is so heavy. I call it my brass beauty. And here's a sweet story about this piece. The VFW, the store, my neighbor next door, was having a sidewalk sale, and they were trying to earn money to put a new roof on their building. And I walked out and saw this. This is like their shining, beautiful piece for sale. And I walked up to him and said, and I will take that. And so here it is. Didn't jump very far from the VFW. And it is right here in my store, and it's beautiful. And I helped them get a new roof. So it was a win-win all the way around. So so that. And then the other thing is this shirt is from the 1920s. I bought it from my vendor, Cheryl, who specializes in old clothing. So this is 100 years old, and it's not falling apart, and it's pretty cool. So another old item I have is a wardrobe. It's probably 1900s. It's beautiful, like think Narnia. So those are a few of the really wonderful things I have in my shop, and they're old. So I love antiques because I feel like the quality and the art that's in the antique is just reminiscent of days gone by. And I find it it's kind of romantic in a way to see what stood the test of time and what's still around. And I know that's what draws people into the shop. They love to feel the comfort of things that they had in other parts of time. So I always tell people, be prepared to bump into your past because it's in here. One gentleman was here one day, and he was in the back of the store, and big old tears were just rolling down his face. And I went back, I said, can I help you with something? What's going on? And I said, maybe you've bumped into something in here. And he said, yeah, I bumped into a sled that it's the same sled that I went sledding on as a child with my brother. And he said it just brought back so many happy memories. And that was sweet to me. And I hear stories like that all the time of items that people bumped into, and it brings up happy memories from the past. And like dishes they ate on when they were at their mother's, or dishes they ate on when they were at their grandmother's, or toys they played with, or it's just really fun, or a light fixture that reminded them of, visiting an aunt's house or something like that. So yeah, I love antiques. I love vintage items. The quality, the charm that's in them, they're one-of-a-kind pieces. People will be like, I'll come back next week to get this. And I'm like, this isn't a sales gimmick, but it probably won't be here next week. There's only one. I don't have a stockpile in the back room. So that's what I love about this is the inventory is always changing. It's always interesting. We love to treasure hunt and find things and bring it in here. And it's exciting to see people have a passion for antiques and vintage like I do. So thanks for shopping local with us.